All right, let's talk about a really special birthday, February 19th. If this is your birthday, you probably already know it's not just any old day. It's like you're standing on this fascinating cosmic doorstep, which creates a personality that is just so complex and so compelling.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're this total dreamer on the inside, full of imagination and empathy, but at the same time, there's this other part of you? A part with this real ambition, this drive to lead and create something totally original? If you're nodding along right now, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Because, yeah, being born on February 19th means you're living right at this unique intersection. You're not just one thing or the other. Nope. You're a mix of two really powerful and, yeah, sometimes totally contradictory energies. So let's dive in and break down exactly what that means.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to talk about the cusp. Now, February 19th is technically the very first day of Pisces, right? The sign of the fish. But because you're born right on that edge, you get this huge splash of energy from the sign just before it, the super smart, independent Aquarius.
People actually call this the cusp of sensitivity. And a great way to picture it is like a bridge. So on one end of the bridge, you've got that forward-thinking, kind of quirky Aquarius energy. And on the other end, you have the deep, emotional, intuitive world of Pisces. Well, if you're born on this day, you get to walk back and forth across that bridge. You get the best of both worlds.
So what happens when you mix all that together? What kind of person do you get? Well, you get what I like to call the dreamer with intelligence. Let's really get into the nitty-gritty and unpack what makes you tick.
It really creates this incredible duality inside you. It's fascinating. You've got the dreamer side, super intuitive, you just feel what other people are feeling, and your inner creative world is just so rich. But then, there's the leader. This part is fiercely independent, always coming up with original ideas, and has this quiet but totally unshakable strength. And the coolest part? They're not at war with each other. They're just two sides of the same amazing soul.
And when we look at your strengths, you can really see this blend in action. You're not just strong, you're gentle but strong. You're not just smart, you're emotionally intelligent. You're the kind of person who just gets emotions that other people can't even find the words for. It's a real superpower.
Of course, every superpower has its kryptonite, right? That deep sensitivity can get, well, a little overwhelming sometimes. You might notice that when things get stressful, you kind of escape into daydreams. Or maybe you find it really hard to say no to people. Or you start second-guessing that powerful intuition you have. The big life lesson for you is all about learning how to ground all that incredible emotional energy. Okay, but to really get the full picture, we need to go even deeper than just the zodiac. We're going to look at your cosmic blueprint, the specific planets and numbers that are really pulling the strings behind the scenes and shaping who you are. First up, let's talk about your ruling planet, Neptune. As the ruler of Pisces, Neptune is all about dreams, imagination, and that spiritual connection to, well, everything. It governs all the stuff you can't see or touch, tapping you into a totally different frequency than most people. That Neptune influence, that's where you get that profound empathy and your razor-sharp intuition. It's what fuels your artistic talents and gives you this almost dreamlike way of seeing the world. And that gut feeling you always have that there's so much more to life than what's on the surface? Yep, that's Neptune talking.
But wait, while Neptune is pulling you off into the dreamy clouds, there's another completely different force that's keeping you grounded, and it comes from your birthday number, 19. Now, in numerology, we break that down. So, 1 plus 9 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. Your birth number is 1.
And the number 1 is basically the polar opposite of Neptune's vibe. 1 is the number of the pioneer, the leader, the individual who carves their own path. This is where you get your drive, your confidence, and that burning desire to make your own unique mark on the world. It's the steel backbone to your beautifully soft heart.
So think about it. You take the compassionate, intuitive energy of Pisces and you fuse it with the ambitious, trailblazing drive of the number 1. What do you get? You get this incredible archetype, the spiritual leader. This is someone who doesn't lead with force, but with empathy, with vision, and with a real deep understanding of the human soul.
All right, so that's the cosmic theory, the big picture stuff. But what does all of this actually look like in the real world? In your love life, your job? Let's get practical and see how these traits show up day to day.
When it comes to relationships, you don't do things by halves, do you? You are all in. You're a hopeless romantic, you're fiercely devoted, and that empathy makes you an amazingly supportive and understanding partner. You're just not interested in surface-level stuff. What you're really after is that deep, true, soul-to-soul connection.
And that's exactly why you tend to click so well with signs that can give you both emotional depth and a bit of stability. Fellow water signs like Cancer and Scorpio can match your emotional intensity, and then you have the earth signs, Taurus and Capricorn, who provide that solid ground and reassurance that makes your sensitive soul feel totally safe.
Now for your career. Look, you're just not built for a boring desk job. You thrive when you can use that amazing imagination and empathy. You're meant to be a creator, a healer, a guide, something that matters. You absolutely need work that feels meaningful, which is why those super rigid, emotionally cold corporate jobs can just feel, so incredibly draining for you.
So when you put it all together, your strengths, your challenges, all these cosmic influences, it all points in one direction. It points to a very specific life path. Your journey is really about integrating these two powerful sides of yourself to become that spiritual leader you are absolutely born to be.
So the big question is, what does that path forward actually look like? How do you get there? Let's talk about what that journey of becoming your best self really involves.
Your path is all about taking that intense sensitivity and transforming it into real emotional wisdom. It's about grabbing that incredible imagination of yours and pouring it into creative expression. It's a journey of spiritual growth, where you learn to lead with your heart instead of your ego, and ultimately using all your unique gifts to help other people heal.
And if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this right here. Those things that feel like your biggest challenges, setting boundaries, getting over that nagging self-doubt, they are also the literal keys to unlocking your greatest power. The moment you learn to protect your energy and truly trust your own inner voice, you become unstoppable.
Because in a world that often tells us to be tough and not so sensitive, please never ever forget this. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your superpower. Your true power, your unique gift to this world, is your incredible ability to lead with a sensitive heart.